Good morning, TFR.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on The Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. TGIF, everybody. Welcome to the Ironworx, right here on Truth Frequency Radio. My name is Josh Corey, and I am joined this morning by two of my very good friends who just happened to co-host this little show with me right here. Starting off with one Mr. Walter Johnson, Flat Earth Head, here on YouTube as well. Walt, how are you doing, sir?
Good morning, Josh. Good morning, Zach. Good morning, TFR. Or I should say, Fiat Lux. That's my new thing. I'm liking that better. Fiat Lux. Glad you guys are here. Glad we're here. It is Friday, my dudes. We somehow made it through another crazy week of crazy people doing crazy shit. Well, they get crazier and crazier. All right, I'm here. I'm trying to wake up. Let me pour some coffee on my brain, and you say hey to Zachariah.
All right. Zachariah, or Zachary Zabala, Z squared, a.k.a. Good Times for All on YouTube. Zach, how are you doing? I imagine you're staying busy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's getting real around here with the whole move. But, no, that stupid commercial got me fired up. All of a sudden, I'm like, Did you even hear it? I won't even get into it. I'll just let it go. I'm just not. No, yeah. I'm so excited about this garden. I have been. It's like mapped out beautifully. It is. It's going to be a work of art when I'm finally finished. I'm going to be very proud of this thing if it turns out half as good as I am planning on. But yeah, my brain is just not stopping thinking about it. It's like every 20 minutes I get drawn back to, I could do that. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So yeah, you're probably going to hear about this for a little while. Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's an ambitious plan. I've seen the schematics that you've drawn up, and you've definitely got your work cut out for you. No doubt about it.
Hey, if a guy can do it by himself out in the middle of a jungle with a little scraper tool and create those beautiful things he does, I think I got this. I can do it. I know I can do it.
I know you can do it.
I'm going to do it.
I just don't know that I could do it in less than a decade.
Oh, yeah, that guy does it in 2 months. He digs those things out and does all that stuff. Might take a while.
I guess I'm used to digging out here in the Ozarks, which does not go well.
That rock.
Right.
Yeah, this is clay. This will be a little different, hopefully. We'll see. We'll take it as it comes. Just like life.
Damn Skippy.
It might not look anything like my design when I'm done. That's how life happens. You know? Yep. It happens while you're busy making other plans. So how have you been, Josh? How's your week going? Or how has your week been? It's about done.
It's about done. Going good. Everything's just chugging right along. Nothing really new to report.
Nothing exciting at work or nothing like that?
Well, still just finishing off that nifty little box that I was building, and it was mm, again, I don't know what I can and can't say in a lot of these regards, but it was sort of what do you call it? Jesus, it's right there on the tip of my tongue. It's the first one. It's the prototype. Criminy, how long did it take me to get that word out? Prototype. So it's basically a prototype. But it looks like we're going to go ahead and get the job. So we'll be doing about 8 of these every month, it looks like. That just means playing with liquid nitrogen and having all sorts of
Nice.
fun stuff. But it's yeah, it's pretty cool.
So can you buy liquid nitrogen now to, like, for your own personal use with this
Apparently
new
anybody can buy it.
certificate that you got?
Apparently the certificate, I think, is just for work in OSHA. I think
Oh, okay.
pretty sure
Yeah,
So I
you
you
can
can.
buy
buy
it. Cook with
nitrogen.
it.
Yeah, you can go buy, and it's cheap as. It's pretty cheap, from what I understand.
I hope so. It's like 80% of the atmosphere. Just gotta liquefy it, cool it down.
It's like $5 a liter, I think.
Do you know how the process goes of cooling that stuff down? How that all works?
I have zero idea.
Because it gets real cold, doesn't it?
From what I remember, it's like negative 493 or something.
Wow, so you're way past 0 degrees Kelvin.
Yeah, it's pretty chilly.
Ooh. Yeah, be careful. That shit is cold.
Yeah, it's definitely something. Watching that pin expand in that little hole. I mean, there's not a whole lot of room for error, so it's not like there's a whole lot of wiggle room when you got that pin in there after you've shrunk it in liquid nitrogen for 15 minutes. But once it sets, boy, it sets. It's not going anywhere. What I have been
So
seeing.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, how's the garden?
Oh, it's going good. Finally got some big tomatoes ripening up, able to pull off. Just kind of been
Nice.
sitting there, green, the last few weeks.
Are you going to do any canning?
It's possible. We've got jars and lids and all the stuff. It may be worth just a practice run. See what happens. See if I can't blow up my kitchen with a pressure cooker.
Yeah, everybody out there. Just a kind of reminder, maybe. Save your glass jars. Anything you can reseal, just clean that thing out. Don't throw it in the garbage. Hold on to it. If you have the room, just set the glass jar and the lid aside. A lot of these jars, you can reuse them and put anything you want in it and then reseal it. And 90% of the time, those lids, as long as that seal didn't get too damaged during the opening process, it'll reseal again for you. Yeah, get as many glass jars as you can for food. Start getting prepared for this stuff. And glass jars, I mean, it's like, I don't know, I haven't bought them in a couple of years, but it's like $10 for a case, $11, $12 for a case, about $1 a piece. And that starts adding up, when you get 400 or 500 glass jars. So all those things you buy at the store that are in glass jars, or you could get in plastic or glass, go ahead and get the glass one and then save that jar. Having a good stockpile of glass jars, I mean, having a huge garden is great, but if you don't have the stuff to store it in, you're not going to have that stuff when wintertime comes around.
Mm-hmm.
So just a little reminder. It's if you're looking into making your own food and storing your own food, then that's a big part of it is having the, you know, the glass apparel to do so. Yeah, I'm
Definitely.
thinking of putting a video out today, maybe. All my gardening videos all together. I'm going to edit them all together and just, yeah, it's time, people. People need to start getting closer to their food source and putting a little bit of themselves into it. It'll taste so much better if you do. Just love those plants a little bit. Get your hands dirty. It all washes off. It's okay. Don't worry.
Not going to kill you. As long as you keep Monsanto and Bayer out of your soil, it's not going to kill you.
Yeah, the dirt in the ground is probably safer than the food on some of the shelves.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
Just straight dirt.
Good for you. Got stuff in it you need.
Mm-hmm.
My sister knows. When she was about 2 and 3 years old, she started eating dirt, and my mom and dad could not make her stop. To the point that she actually took her to a doctor to find out what the flip was wrong. And the doctor said, "Hey, something in it she needs. Leave her alone. She'll stop." And sure enough,
Yeah.
about 4 months after that, she stopped. So
she'll know when it's time.
Yeah, it's probably a mineral deficiency.
I've heard pregnant women having some wild urge.
Yeah.
Go out and eat dirt.
If they get low in fiber, they'll want to eat paper. That's what all those weird pregnancy cravings are. That's the body saying, "Look, I'm low here. I'm low here. I'm low here. You need to do something about it." And they'll get those weird cravings. It's strange. Strange the way the body works. Strange the way the mind works too. Here
Yeah,
I
I've
am.
been thinking about Jerry Merzinski a lot. I can't wait to get him back on. I was telling my mom about him, and it rang so true with her.
Really?
Yeah, just about how the voices, they speak to everybody, and she's like, I was always wondering where those crazy ideas came from. I knew they weren't me. It was like my voice, but I would sit there and like argue with it.
Yep.
Like, no, I'm not doing. No, what? Where the hell did that come from? I was like, yeah, that's them. She was like, wow, that makes so much sense. No, no, like inkling of hesitation at all. She was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I want to see that one. She thinks it's so cool that we do this stuff. She just can't believe we're, after this many years, we're still just hanging out on Fridays, talking to whoever.
your mom rocks, it sounds like.
She even asked, you guys still do the flat earth stuff? Look, yeah, when somebody comes around, I mean, if the guest isn't a flat earther or it's not like their main topic, we might touch on it a little bit, but yeah, she's a pretty awesome lady.
Shout out to everybody hanging out with us there in chat. I see Liz and Daz and Diva and Lucas. Alan is there. I'm sorry, the Alan. Liz, the Iron Maiden. Who else have I missed? Somebody. Oh, that's what's up. Daz is doing sit-ups listening to us in the garage. That's what's up, Daz. Oh my goodness.
So,
Go ahead. Sorry, I was going to say it's been an interesting week. Just, I don't know. The weather here has been insane. I've yet to see the comet, and I have tried for the last 3 nights.
Same here.
It's the closest it's going to be right now, and then it will start going away, and that's it, pretty much. We won't see it no more for 8,000 years, 7,000 years, whatever it is.
And I don't hear anybody talking about this. This is as far as I am aware of, at least during, my lifetime, this is the first comet that is like this big and bright in the sky and visible to the human eye, and it's got a huge tail, and
It's got
this
the
is the stuff
huge
they
tail.
write about.
It's the stuff they draw about back in the old
Yeah.
days, and all the pictures that we get from Martin and his crew. Yeah. Yep.
And
I
it's
was
like
thinking
a
the same
once in a
thing when I saw. That's
lifetime
why I want to
thing.
see it with my eyes and
Yeah, I
not just in
know,
somebody's
me
video. That's why
too.
I'm trying so hard to see this damn thing. And it's like the sky will not cooperate at all.
And I'm not saying I watch the news or anything, but you would think that this would be the buzz about everything. This is like a once in a lifetime thing. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, they got too much going on to keep people distracted, to keep them from looking up in the sky.
Yeah, I wonder what if a lot of this crap is about that. I don't know. I don't know.
I've had that
Couple
thought.
I want
things
to
real
see
quick.
it though.
Before we get too far from it, Lucas in chat's reminding everybody to sterilize your jars in the oven. There's lots of ways to do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Don had to resubscribe to Iron Room Media up there on the YouTubers. Go check it out. Just always, when you're sitting around looking at videos while you're sitting there, click through a person you like's subscriptions, and you will find that they are subscribed to a lot of stuff you thought you're subscribed to, but you still have to resubscribe to it. That's how I've done it in the past. Found that I'm totally off about 7 or 10 channels that I love. So yeah, because YouTube wants things neat and tidy for you. They don't want you to have all that extraneous stuff you like in your feed. What the hell would that do for you? Just confuse you, make you think differently.
I found a really cool channel I'd like to share. It's a physics channel. Oh, this is gonna take me a second, but he makes physics fun. He kind of reminds me of a Walter Lewin type teacher. He has a different, everybody has a different approach and stuff, but the young adults in his classroom, they're laughing while they're learning. It's the stuff that stays with you, the stuff you remember after your education. And yeah, I'm really enjoying his channel. I've learned so much stuff from him already about stuff that I thought I knew. And I was like, oh, I had that totally backwards. Wow. Walter Lewin never quite covered it like that. Yeah, I'm not going to find this. I don't have any idea what it even starts with, or I'll look for it. Oh, no, that's not it. Yeah, I'll find it and I'll drop it in the chat and stuff.
Here's a funny little story.
I'm letting.
Back in the mid 1800s, I suppose, here in the Americas, Congress was in session. There were some congressmen that left and went home before they could finish out the session, which meant Congress couldn't actually close because not everybody was there to take a vote, because some of those congressmen went home, which kind of put Congress as a body in this weird limbo state where it was kind of unconscious. It wasn't dead. I think they call it sine die. Basically, it means the sun has set on Congress. Not that it was dead, but the sun could rise again once the congressmen come and take the vote and say, okay, we're done and we will reconvene at this next time. But until that happens, the sun had set on Congress. And what that did is it basically shut down the federal government without the Congress there. So President Abraham Lincoln says, what we need to do is get those congressmen back to D.C. We need to get that vote taken so we can get the federal government back up and running again. So he rounded up some of the troops and dispersed them throughout the South to collect up these congressmen. Well, some people didn't take too kindly to that and having the federal troops encroaching on their state rights, you see. That was the issue.
What state right did they infringe upon?
Well, their sovereignty. Each state is considered a country in and of itself. We are a nation of countries united. Each country is its own state.
But are we united under federal law?
Well, in so much as you have a choice to be. Yeah, because you still have your state sovereignty. You are still that nation. The people make up that nation. Those nations make up that federal government.
That's where the legal cannabis came from.
So, in so much as human beings will never be greater than God, right? We cannot outgrow our creator. We'll never be bigger, better than our creator. Never have more power than our creator.
But did the governor ask for these troops to be sent in?
I do not believe so. I believe this was the president's unilateral decision to say, you know what? You need to have federal troops come because we need to get those congressmen back to the D.C. to take this vote. It was his decision. And this is when he just declared the state of emergency and started operating under what was called the Lieber Code, which is basically how troops should be acting when operating in a foreign land, right? It's not a whole rape, pillage, and burn. Just take everything.
No, yeah, be happy that it's U.S. troops and not Blackwater.
Right.
Because they don't have to follow the same rules of engagement.
So when I hear President Trump talking about all these states needing to get their violence under control, or he's going to send them in, which doesn't make much sense to me. Because, Zach, I know you know this. Who is the most powerful law enforcement in the land?
The sheriff.
The county sheriff.
Yep. They tell the federal government, you need to get out of my county.
There you go.
Who is also an elected official, elected, well, at least in the state of Indiana, I know every 2 years.
Yep.
Know your sheriff, folks. Call him, talk to him, tell him thanks.
Even my local sheriff department has been shuffling around and compartmentalizing a whole lot the last 5 or 10 years. We now have what's called the county police.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they work in conjunction with the county sheriff. And the county sheriff, they say, is now basically all just the administrative side of the law enforcement. But the actual policing is now done by this newly formed branch called the county police.
Sounds very similar to a little situation we have here near me. There's the Chitimacha Reservation, and they have their own tribal police who can sit out on the 4-lane and give you a speeding ticket. And the first time I saw them out there doing that, I'm like, well, how are the state troopers allowing this to happen? And then I found out they actually have more power in this little area than most everybody, except, I guess, the sheriff. And I'm not 100% sure about that because they walk pretty tall around here. Louisiana being all Napoleonic and whatnot, there's no telling who's what and where. But yeah, my plan was always, if shit went down, I'm heading over to the reservation and It's a sovereign nation, and I'll be right there. You Americans can have all the fun you want.
No, just be careful. Because again, they're not bound up by things like the court system and all that good stuff. So if they don't want you
Yeah,
there,
I'm pretty
they,
good with the tribe. I'm
oh, yeah,
all right,
well,
I
good,
think.
good.
I found it.
I made them millions. They're good with me. When I dealt it there to say no.
What's the channel name, Zach?
Jefferson Lab.
That sounds real familiar.
All cold cuts, no baloney. That's what
Link
they
it
say
for
at the
us there
beginning
in
of their
the chat
videos.
for us.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Shout out to Joey Roca, who's joined us. Sean O'Co. Someone else who was here. Oh, Fat Bastard is here. Foreshadow's here. I know I'm missing somebody. And I'm missing all y'all who aren't here. And I think I hear break music.
That's it. You certainly do.
I'll shut up.
This is the Ironworks. We'll be right back.
From the dawn of man, we have turned to nature to help attain balance within ourselves. But somewhere, we lost our way. Western culture is once again remembering the healing benefits of CBD, the non-psychoactive component of the hemp plant. That's why more and more people who use CBD report relief from inflammation and chronic pain, balanced blood sugar and cardiovascular system, relief from muscle tensions, tremors, migraines, headaches, anxiety, depression, and the list goes on. The big question is, where do you get it? Life is a 99% pure CBD oil made with all organic ingredients, and it's available to TFR listeners worldwide. If you use coupon code TFR at checkout, you'll get $5 towards your order. Head on over to ialife.com now. That's AYA life.com.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. Nature'syouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
For millennia, mankind has been searching for answers to the big questions such as, where did the universe come from? Where did we come from? Why are we here? Are we alone? And just what the heck is the Sasquatch all about? I can't promise you answers, and neither can the Woo Crew, but they invite you to join them Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, midnight in the UK, for Freaky Friday, exclusively on Truth Frequency Radio. Spirituality, multiverse, quantum mechanics, the occult, and so much conspiracy analysis that it will make your mind melt. Take my word for it. Freaky Friday. It's more than a show. It's a way of life. I am Stephen Hawking, and I am proud to be a Wookiee.
You are now tuned into the Truth Frequency.
Your protection from deception. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Yeah, I know that wasn't really you in the commercial. I get it.
I'd be pissed off too, really. I
Such a
mean,
somehow he
yeah,
always
get a
makes it
little.
about him. I don't know how he does it.
Well, I'm on board with you there, Steven. That's bullshit. That's the voice they portray you as having. I know when you were younger, you spoke very eloquent and beautifully and articulated every word, and now they've got some moron at NASA speaking for you about black holes. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, that dude. Oh, man.
Always opinionated. Go ahead, wheel him on out. We're done. Goodbye, Stephen.
See you tonight,
Oh,
mate.
man. Sir? Sir? Sir?
What do we have going on tonight over there on Iron Realm Media's?
It's kind of in the air at this point, as it has been on some Fridays in the past. So you never know. We should probably do a simulcast with James True. I love you, James. Man. But yeah, we'll be there for sure, and there'll be things happening. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. We might open the phone lines. You just never know what could happen on a Friday evening over there on Have No Sphere.
I was just gonna say, sounds like it might be a good night to break open the flatline.
Yeah, yeah. Go rummage into our Skype contacts, bug people on their live shows. Why not?
Hey, what you doing?
Why not?
Hey, hi. What you doing?
Right?
What's going on?
Remember when Letterman used to walk over to Johnny's set and mess with him while he was live? I loved that shit. Let's do it.
You know, not for nothing, Rose is live right now.
Hey, what's up, Rose? This is true, man. This is true.
You know what?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I may even try it. She's taking
Man.
calls.
Is she?
I
Well, why not call her from our show to her show and say, hello, fellow early riser?
Rose is live right now?
Pretty sure. Or she was just a few moments ago.
It just didn't pop up on my thing.
Yeah, I was going to say that
She
too.
is live. Yep.
There you go.
Taking calls.
Wow.
I got the number. You need it.
A momentous moment in recording radio.
I called her up yesterday.
Television history. Yeah, I've actually got the number already saved in my phone if you need it.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's heard of it, but the Poppycock Report with her and Baldini is great on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, starting at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, so that'd be like 8 Central. Yeah, it's fun. We have a lot of fun over there. Those two are really good together.
I love it. Well, while Josh is playing around with the phone, I think, oh man, wait, did I close it already? I must have. Let me go find it again. It's been what, probably 6 months since I've given you guys an update. And since this is the biggest weekend in Pokemon Go history, I'm going to catch you up for a second. I haven't been playing as much as I used to, truthfully. My fellow playmates kind of moved on to some critter island, and I've lost them to that. They're fishing and catching bugs and dressing up and playing girly games. I don't get it. But anyway, so I'm playing pretty much by myself. But this weekend, Go Fest. Now, used to be the case was you had to go all the way to Chicago, or I can't even remember the other cities it was in over the years, but to do things like that, or Safari Zone or anything, you had to leave and go to a big city where they had a big park set up with all these environments, the biomes for the different creatures. There would be extra things turned loose in that area, extra stops, extra events, stuff you could not get anywhere else except at that event. You could bring home prized Pokemon that people would trade you and get you some good battling. And I know people don't care as much as I do, but I've gotten addicted to this damn game. And starting tomorrow at 10 a.m., going through to 8 o'clock. I know that's nice. It's 10 hours, people. Saturday and Sunday. They'll be rotating habitats. There'll be crazy creatures, including the chance to get a shiny Gibble. I'm excited. I know you are too. Anyway, it's pretty much what I'll be doing this weekend is heading out to the old stomping grounds and seeing if I can meet up with some of the people we used to meet up with and raid for this big event. Shout out to all the home pokey people. It's been a different experience trying to play from your house. Although the game has accommodated us quite a bit, I have to say. They've done their best to change a game that's whole focus was to go outside and socially interact with people. They've done a lot to make it work. So, but yeah, definitely this weekend it's going to be a biggie. All right, Josh.
Yeah, in
You
a
got
way,
that
I'm
phone
jealous, Walt.
a little bit of brain
can't
time.
play a game that long anymore.
I haven't. That's the thing. I doubt I'll do it all weekend. I'll probably spend 3 or 4 hours Saturday and then be tired of it.
Like extends like over a lengthy period of time. Not that you played a lot, just that you can
If
keep
it was
playing.
not on
I
my
used
phone
to be like
and
that.
attached to my, like at one point it was attached to my walking, not so much lately, but especially in Oregon, that was what I do when I would go walking. So yeah, it's if it wasn't the game it is, I wouldn't be playing it. Like I don't play games on my systems that are literally gathering dust in the living room. I was looking at them yesterday. I was like, wow, that game system hasn't been touched in a minute. Might want to get over there and dust it off in case I do ever want to play it again. So yeah, I'm like that. I don't play and waste the hours I used to. If this one wasn't already attached to my control device on my phone and keeping me in check, I wouldn't be, obeying it like I do.
Lucas LC King going old school in chat. He just played through Zelda the Ocarina of Time a while ago.
That's what's up.
Dude, that was
like
my
favorite
the best Zelda ever.
Right.
Way better than the GameCube's Wind Waker. Yeah, that was my favorite game for the Nintendo 64 besides maybe 007. GoldenEye. Yeah, that was the best Zelda in my opinion. My little brother used to sit there and cry and throw my controller at the TV and get so mad and angry. He was real young playing that one. And then he'd come up to me and hand me the controller. Zach, can you get past this boss for me? Nope. I'll show you how to do it though. Yeah, it was that jerk older brother that made him figure everything out.
But he's glad you did now, isn't he?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's a bright young man. Every once in a while, I might go ahead and beat a boss for him if he was stuck on him for, a really long time. But I taught him patience and, he set it down for a while. Usually, that's how it worked for me. I would sit there and try to beat a certain part for hours. I do it, 30 times in a row and keep getting worse as I keep playing it because I'm so frustrated and getting irritated. You learn, you set it down for a couple hours, you go and do something totally different and get it off your mind. I would come back and the very first try, I would nail it. And after that happened, 10, 15, 100 times, you're like, oh, wow. So if I can't do it right now, all I have to do is clear my head and calm down, and then I can do it.
Shout out to Ipsy Naisleys and Daz, who apparently play a little Pokemon Go or have in the last few months or something. I'm trying to play catch up. Send me your friend code. Anybody out there that actually plays, send me your friend code. Put it at the chat. Put it at our Iron Realm Media at gmail.com. I'll send you a gift every day, I promise. In fact, I was playing with BRV for a little while, Billy Ray, and then I don't know what happened. He got really busy doing other things, which we should hear something about in the near future, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was just thinking about hitting him
I was indeed.
I mean,
So have you had any luck with the phone line, sir?
yeah, well, she's got a caller on right now, so I was just
Oh, okay. See, I
waiting
should be
patiently.
watching her show while we're on the air, so I would know that. But I'm trying to keep this one going. So
Well, it's tough because you got to listen. So I've got it on my phone right now. You can probably hear it if you listen really carefully. Although I should have it all ducked out so you wouldn't be able to. It is playing on in the background as my phone sits right here on my leg. So if you hear some wonky noises, it's just the phone because it's too close to my microphone.
oh, I know those noises well. Man, we've had a lot of folks jump into chat while I was over there digging through the lettuce pile and looking for that story that I shared. Crochet, is that how you say that name? I'm probably saying it wrong. Crochet 3 has joined us, and I'm sure that's not how you say it. What? Good morning. Donnie is here from his channel, which I can't pronounce at all. Jorko Aquaponic.
That's how I pronounced it.
That's it. Good morning, Donnie. Sir, you can give us a call since we're trying to call other people at some point, I suppose. Somebody else had hopped in while I was yapping, and I've missed. Oh, Plain Truth. What's up? Good morning, Allison Briscoe. I know I'm
We
missing.
could just start randomly calling Skype numbers and see what happens.
Gonna do is here. What's happening? Did I miss somebody? I know I did.
Like I did when I was 12.
Good servant. I missed you. Good morning, good servant. All right, I've said the roll call that I can see now. I'm sure I've missed people.
Yeah, when we first learned what a telephone was and all that stuff, man, I would pick it up and just start hitting numbers. My mom got so mad. There was calls all over the world. Me and my cousin, not little, he was about the same age, but we were like 4, and we were trying to call each other. And we were just calling all kind, and then we'd get together and just hit numbers and see what the people sounded like on the other end. If they were English and said hello, we just hang up right away.
Right. It's interesting that the kids these days have no clue how phones actually used to be. I was thinking about that not long ago. There was a period where we found out that you could manipulate the phone system by whistling into it. There was some guy on Johnny Carson or something that would like whistle phone numbers and dial them. So me and a buddy were, me and a buddy were playing around with that. Being musicians, we love that idea. So we started playing around with that, whistling different little tunes into the phone to see where it would call. And we would do that same thing. We would get people and be like, say something and talk to them a minute and see how they reacted. If they were like flipping out, like, who is this? How'd you get this number? Or whatever, we'd definitely hang up. But we talked to a lot of people from a lot of places, and we never like got in trouble. We never had a phone number show up and like have a huge phone bill. We just lucked out, I guess. But yeah, we used to have a lot of fun playing with the damn phone. Not like now where you're, controlled by it.
Yeah, it's hard to find random numbers when they're all programmed in there and you just hit somebody's name that you know. You used to have to, you didn't have a computer to memorize all your numbers. I still have all those numbers in my head. It's crazy. 9421543, my first phone number.
Everybody's calling it now. Oh, man. Oh, the things these kids don't know. Oh, that's just like I went back to watch Poltergeist recently. It came on through one of the streaming services, and I had kind of wanted to see some of the decode in it, so I started watching it. And there at the very beginning is the sign off of the TV going off the air, and I look around at, and like nobody in this room knows anything about what's happening right now, do they? You don't even know what that means to y'all, my son and stepdaughter. Yeah, it's really funny that there's so much that's changed. It really hasn't been that long ago, has it? Oh, I'm so old. I know it's been that long ago. Trust me. Trust me.
40 doesn't feel like that old anymore, does it, Walt?
I wish it was that young, but it's older, way older, way older. Man, so I guess the phone is letting us down. You want to go dig in the piles a bit, sir?
You surely can.
Sirs? I'm there. I'm looking. I see stuff. Oh, man. Did I not put that story here? Because there's apparently going to be a meteor shower coming up to coincide with Neowise. And I thought that would be intriguing to see happen. And I have now apparently didn't put the story. Oh, I know. The page I had it on kept playing videos in the background. I did not want to send that link to you, so I was looking for another one, and I never did find one. So that's an epic fail on my part. Let's do some live research and find out when the meteor showers are going to happen. I know we're like slipping into the Perseids or however you say it. And we're not to the Orionids yet, or Orionids, or however you say that one. Are we? I don't think so. I'm trying to find it. It's here somewhere. Yeah, we're slipping into the... Lost the list again. Perseids, July 17th through September 1st. So that is the one that's happening then, and we're getting through the end of the Southern Delta Aquarids, and those are going to be peaking during this next week, but I can't find a story. I'm just looking at the American Meteorological Society's list. But trust me, go out there and look in the sky. It's happening. The maximum date for the Perseid says here is August 12th, so apparently it's not the peak. I don't know. Just go look in the sky. You should be doing that anyway. Put your phone down, plug your earphone in so you can hear the show, and go look in the sky.
Yeah. Out here in Denver, it's not the greatest for sky watching.
That's
you
kind
have
of shocking to me.
open sky, but there's so much light pollution.
Light pollution, yeah.
Yeah.
So even in Oregon, there's, I guess, where we're at, a little south of it, in south of Portland, we can find some dark areas. You do have to drive a few minutes, but
Yeah, well, we're to the northeast, and with trying to look to the west at night, you're just looking right over a huge metropolitan area. And yeah, you don't see many stars at all. I mean, you do see stars at night looking straight up, but it's probably a third of the stars that we see down there at your house, Walt. Too many people all in one area.
yeah,
Too
true.
many lights
There you
out.
go. Didn't think about the fact that you guys are overpopulated there, for sure. It's getting worse here as far as the light pollution, but when you get heading out towards the levee and the cane fields, you definitely, as you saw, it gets dark. You can see the hell out of the sky.
And I drove along those levees for a ways. I just wanted to be able to say that I did. It's pretty cool. It's all like it's just a big giant mound of dirt with a dirt road on top of it.
That's now illegal to drive on.
I don't know if it was legal then when I
It
did it.
used to be.
Yeah, there was a couple signs like in some places that said "Do not go," blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I pretended like I didn't see it.
Well, there's people that live on the levee that live down, the other way, and I spent a lot of time there. So yeah, you had no problem driving up it, down it, sideways on the edge of it. Of course, we were probably doing a lot of stuff we shouldn't have been doing anyway. So,
Oh, there's a neat. It's called Offline Maps. Really cool, and you can pretty much go to any part of the world. I'm not sure if it covers, the whole world, but it covers the U.S. really well. And it doesn't just give you the roads and the topography and the rivers and stuff. It actually gives you like hiking trails and biking trails and all the stuff in it. And it's neat because you can box out a certain area that you want. And it has many different layers. As you get closer, you know, things change a little bit and whatnot. But it'll download all that stuff onto your storage device. Like my phone, I have 6 gigs of information for the Carolina Mountain region. Just the maps all in that area. It's like probably like a 300 square mile area. But I'll at least have access to a map, even if the internet goes down and the phone lines go down and all that kind of stuff. I'll still have all that information on my little phone.
Yeah, I was doing that. I was doing that in Oregon because of the spotty coverage when I was trying to take Mom around to all her different doctor appointments and all that a few years back. I had downloaded a lot of maps into my tablet, which is now dead. And I was thinking the same thing. It would be nice to have that in the phone rather than having to go try to get it online for the future reference. And now the tablet died, so it's kind of gone. And I'm not doing that on my phone because it took up quite a bit of storage. Speaking of maps, I'm dropping a link to the light pollution map for you guys there in chat if you are inclined to go try to get away from some of the light in your area. I've played with this. I used to have actually an app on my phone, but when I went to look for it, there's so many new ones I don't know, and I know there's a lot of shady apps out there these days, so I'm not going to recommend anyone and have something happen to their phone. But I will say they are out there. Do some research. Make sure you're not getting one of those that's going to crash your phone or install some kind of malware. But definitely the light pollution map link that I gave you will help you out there. I'll drop it on the chat on both sides of our coin.
While we're waiting for Rose's phone line to clear up so that we can go crash her show, I do see. Well, sorry. Apparently, I don't get to unmute my callers on the call board. Interesting.
Wow, I can't either. What's that about?
I don't know. That's really strange.
Well, we see you there, Donnie, but apparently we no longer have control of the call board because I'm doing the same thing, sir, trying to unlock him. Is there something we... Huh. What the heck?
That's really strange.
I know. Well, we both can't drop out. I'll drop out of the studio and try to get back in. We're almost to the call. I mean, to the commercial anyway. So we'll get this ironed out at the top of the hour for you there, Donnie, and get you in here. I don't really know what the issue is, though. Huh.
That is strange.
Yeah. Really strange. I was just seeing if I can mute us. Can't do that either. Don't know. Really weird. Nothing is actually clickable anymore. Okay, well, sorry for all the technical fun we're having here, trying to get the phones working for you guys. My goodness. Interesting. Interesting. Well, then, I suppose I'll shut up and drop out. Yeah, well, I'll do it at the break. We're almost there anyway.
I'm not sure that's going to matter much.
You don't think?
No, I don't think that there's 2 of us here.
You know, I've noticed a lot of people have been having audio technical issues that normally don't. On Secrets of Saturn the other night, Jason's audio was not right. And I was like, what? I mean, if anybody's going to have their audio right, it's going to be Jason, you know?
Right. Exactly.
Right off it's going to be good. And even they had issues. I was like, now wait, something's going on here. Because it happened to James True the other morning too. He just starts talking, thinking it happens to Baldini. And these guys know what they're doing. Baldini worked in audio. Jason, that's his job now. And it just doesn't make sense to me that it's happening to all these technically advanced people. It's almost like something's messing with them almost. Like, yeah, you can set it all up all you want, but as soon as you hit that button, those settings are going to be gone, and it's going to be different. I don't know. It's just weird. It really is. It's been happening a lot lately, a lot more than I've ever noticed before.
Yeah, you're right. I think it has something to do with the things above us that are going on that they're trying to keep us from watching and seeing. Well, I hear break music. We'll shut up, pay a few bills. You guys stay tuned. We'll try to work out the phone issue somehow. All right. It's Ironworx. Stay human.
Hi, my name is Ella, and I'm 10 years old. I'm one of the millions of children born to parents suffering from the sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for oneself, the attention span of a goldfish, and a strong belief in government and the mainstream media. It is estimated that 1 out of every 2 children are being raised by parents infected with the sheeple virus. But there is a cure. For as little as 19 cents per day, you can become a TFR supporter and help children like me get their daily dose of truth. Together, we will make sure every child has protection from deception.
Pushing schools to reopen. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. With tough polling numbers in battleground states, President Trump makes a pitch, in his words, to suburban housewives, focusing on kids getting back to school safely.
If schools do not reopen, the funding should go to parents to send their child to public, private, charter, religious, or homeschool of their choice. The key word being choice. If the school is closed, the money should follow the student, so the parents and families are in control of their own decisions.
The president clearly spelling out what he says is important, that America's school children need to return to the classroom this fall. But he acknowledges some states that have become COVID-19 hotspots may have to delay reopenings by a few weeks. More protest in Chicago last night over the statue of Christopher Columbus. Fox 32's Brittany Garzillo was there.
Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot will be removing this Christopher Columbus statue in Grant Park. The statue is blocked off. This as a peaceful protest of about 500 people are walking in Logan Square, headed to the mayor's house. Police do have that area blocked off so they can't get any further. Taking us back here into Grant Park, protesters clashed with Chicago police, hurling objects at officers and attempting to tear down the Christopher Columbus statue.
And we're just hearing that crews have removed the Columbus statue from Grant Park. China retaliates against the U.S. this morning and orders Washington to close the U.S. consulate in the city of Chengdu. China also says it won't comply with the U.S. order for it to close its consulate in Houston by today. And Dow futures down more than 200 points at this hour, indicating a sell-off at the open. Stocks fell yesterday as jobless claims rose. America's listening to Fox News.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception. This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning. I'm here.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
Are you awake? Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Ironworks, kicking off right now. Just hanging out. Apparently, Rose has ended her live stream.
Well, we have a caller here we could get to now that I figured out a trick.
Ooh, look at you backdooring it, so to speak.
So to speak. Good morning, sir. How are you? Calling us from Florida?
Well, hey, Walt. How you doing?
Hi, Donnie. How are you, friend?
I'm doing good. I'm finally awake here.
I don't think we are, truly. Yeah, we've done some changes to our call board here, but I found a workaround, so glad to have you call us this morning. How is the weather there, sir? Have you been able to see this comet yet? Have the skies cleared at all?
No, I haven't been looking up. You know, it's a globe Earth and everything, you know, like it is. It's no, actually it's flat. No, I haven't been looking up. That's probably cloudy outside. It's dark yet, you know, here. Still dark there, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I've been trying for a few nights now, and the weather just hasn't cooperated or at all. I mean, clear days, and as soon as the sky gets dark, it starts clouding up.
Well, it rained a lot yesterday, mostly about 11 o'clock and almost till evening. So, yeah. It's been kind of a mess here, trying to decide which way to go with all this craziness going on.
How crazy is it there right now in Florida?
Well, I mean, it's all invented, you know that. It's, I don't know if it's still the same way, but yeah, I mean, you could type in, you know, I was typing in numbers. I did it for a few minutes. You could type in any number you wanted to, and that many cases would come up all over the place. The AI would write this, you know, software would write the amount of numbers or write the story behind your, just put new cases and a number, and it would come right up, you know. So you can write in no cases, no new cases, and that would come up. You know, so it's just, and people that watch TV believe this, you know. So it's pretty crazy. So what they've done here in Perry, they just now passed the law as of last Monday. Everybody has to wear a mask here in Perry, Florida.
Yeah, they issued one here in Louisiana. I don't know, was it last Monday? And then immediately, like that next Wednesday, the state attorney or the attorney general said, you know, that move is most likely illegal, and anybody trying to enforce it will open themselves up to civil lawsuits. So far, I've just walked on through, just ignored their crap, but it's getting intense. I feel that it's going to become an issue that I'll have a confrontation at some point that will require me to stand up for my rights. So, and in this little town,
well, I'm not worried.
It'll get escalated pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm not wearing a mask. There's no way. I've got, you know, all my friends, well, my family, you know, my true family, you know, 'cause I can't deal with the ones up here or down in Nicaragua and Costa Rica and Panama, and Juliana down in Panama. She's really going through it. They, you know, women are out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and men go out the other days. They can't let them socialize together out there in the street. You know, it's dangerous for the COVID running around, you know, and they have to wear a mask. They're only out for 2 hours. So whatever goes on in Panama, that's the model for the rest of Central America. Whatever happens, they do it. They try it in Panama, and then they, you know, take it on up north to Costa Rica. And they're trying to get it into Nicaragua, but Nicaragua's not, they're not going for it. But, you know, they're slandering the hell out of them, telling how bad it is, and dead bodies everywhere in the street, all that kind of stuff. Like they did in Mexico, you know, they said bodies never stop burning in Mexico, you know, it come out of on the mainstream and all that. And the Dollar Vigilante went over there and investigated, and of course there was nothing going on. He wouldn't even went to a funeral home, and they wouldn't, are you selling a lot of caskets? And they said, no, business is really slow, you know.
Yeah, just like the hospitals over here. On the news, they're jam-packed with thousands of people trying to get in and waiting, and mass hysteria, and then in reality they're doing dance parodies and sitting around doing nothing at all. Actually, nurses are being sent home in droves because there's nothing to do. Yeah, it's crazy. It is. It shows how powerful that little box with that black screen on it is. If something comes
Yeah,
out,
I threw that
we
out.
just believe it automatically.
I threw that out years ago. That's mind control. You know, it's like they did in the 50s. You know, with the theaters with the popcorn and Coke in one, and then with the other one didn't have any, and they sold like crazy with the subliminals. This has been going on forever. But you know, I guess we're all victims growing up because I grew up with a TV too. You know, we all did. So then you wake up, something happens to you. And in my case, it took a tragedy to wake me up, and I was away from that box for years, and didn't, you know, I want no part of it now.
Once upon a time, I was sort of playing around with Christianity, I suppose, is a way to put it. And I could see that there were distinctly sort of two types of committed Christians. One was the person that was raised in the faith and followed it and was sort of steadfast in that faith and sort of did their best to live with the word and by the word and come to it. And then the other person was the one who fucked around and made every bad choice you could think of and finally was saved by the grace of God and came to it and was now steadfast in that faith, having had those trials by fire. And I think that TV is, I could see it being the same way. I don't know that I would be as steadfast in my commitment to not watch television. I don't know that if it was never introduced to me, if I didn't have all of that mindless TV time spent, would I be able to actually really understand the power of that mind control? Or would I just have to take it on faith that when they tell me that it's a really powerful mind control, that, you know, okay, cool. All the more reason to avoid it. So there's definitely that negative drawback to having been controlled the way that we have with the consumerism and just the complete and total manipulation. But the fact that we came out of that and we now have that experience to be able to draw from and look back on and relate to and pass on, and for other people that can kind of mirror that and relate to that as well. And it gives us an in to be able to converse and start to open up their world because that's a shared experience. So there's a whole lot to having had that negative experience, being manipulated since birth by a little box in the TV in the living room, TV room, wherever you are.
But you know, it's even worse than that. I think it's mind control because I would sit in, you know, when I was in the hotel down there in Costa Rica, I'd sit in there and tell somebody something, and they'd say, "Well, Donnie's crazy," and maybe a month or two later, they'd see it on TV and they'd say, "Hey, look there, that's what Donnie said. Look, he was right." And I'd tell them something else, and I'd be crazy again until it showed up on TV. You see what I mean? So it's definitely mind control. It's so heavy now you can't hardly even get through to nobody, and they're totally wiped out in their minds. I mean, you got people that are. I was watching Dan Dix, and he put on something about. They took him off YouTube. You know, he was up there, and threw a bottle and hit him in the head and all this stuff in protest. You know, Black Lives Matter and be out. You know, Antifa and all this mess. You know, he couldn't even converse with them. They're just screaming and going crazy. But I was watching yesterday, some woman was dressed up and she said she was an alien, just looked weird as hell. And then there was another woman that said she was an elf, and another woman says he's a deer, you know, eating grass out the yard, and you think it's a joke, but it's real. You know, it's really, people are gone now. You know, you can't even deal with them.
And then when we point out the lunacy of it all, we get told that we're making a mockery of society. You know, I don't want to live in a society where people get to just determine what they are all of a sudden. Because if that's how it is, then I'm a bald eagle. I can go do whatever I want, wherever I want. Nobody can touch me. You can't even pull a hair off me. That's a $50,000 fine, or a feather, I'll call it. It's a feather now. You know, I mean, when does it stop?
I don't think it does at this point. I mean, you know, you got all kind of genders and you got everything now. I mean, it's just, you can't even believe it. It just blows my mind. You know, I mean, it's just, that's the reason I, you know, down in Central America, down in there, it's people, I used to tell them about, I go and start talking about 9/11 or something. They said, well, we all know that. You know, I mean, nobody down there is asleep, you know, like they are up here. This is, you know, people, I mean, it's just a whole different world, you know. I never thought I'd be back here. Never thought I'd get trapped here. I was just getting ready to get back out. You know, I've been out of here since 95 and watched all this coming and sure never thought they could take the whole world at one time. I mean, they've got the health department here in Perry, Florida. I mean, they've got it. They've infiltrated every little county health department, stuff like that. You know, it's just, it's amazing.
You know, it's if we could understand what it is that made us collectively, individually, whatever, work our way through this minefield. Because as Josh said, I mean, man, talk about the control I was under growing up with that box. And I don't know. I guess we got out of it early enough and they've just really laid it on thicker and thicker. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I mean, I can't say it was a genetic thing because my brother and sister are media fucked. They are brain gone with this whole thing. My whole family is. So I don't know. I don't know what it is, but if we could figure it out and put it in a fucking bottle, we'd make a bunch of money and wake a lot of people up.
I think wireless has a lot to do with this.
The 5G wireless, or just?
Well, I think all wireless, because I started making. Yeah, when I was I got out and I started making devices, you know, trying to stop some of this. I mean, I wasn't going to have anything to do with any kind of wireless, and I did for a long time. And what that actually does, so your body can't defend against, you know, I mean, we're electrical beings. You can't defend against a wireless technology because you're being bombarded. You're living in an electric suit like the invisible rainbow. I know you guys know about that. So.
Oh yeah, we were born in it. You know, it's always been here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Before
so,
we were born,
you know,
we were being poisoned by this stuff.
Absolutely. So that's a part of it. If you look back and read books from history and how smart people were, you know, I mean, they didn't have electricity or anything. I mean, you're talking about soil up here and growing. I mean, you could stick a broom in the ground, Costa Rica, a broomstick, and it'll grow. I mean, just unbelievable, the difference. And of course, I was setting up a project down there growing in pyramids, you know, and pyramid power and all that stuff. And magnets,
like
using magnetic water.
I'm getting ready
to
well, I mean, a pyramid at the center of a garden for someone to sit in, a 6-foot square pyramid. And I'm going to have a chair built into the clay right there that you could sit in and sit inside the pyramid while you look at your garden.
Absolutely. It'll make a tremendous difference. Look up Les Brown. You know who that is?
Liz Brown. No, I've never heard of her, but I would definitely, I need to start.
It's a man. No, it's Les Brown. I think it's L-E-Z. I think it's L-E-Z. I'm not sure. I think that's what it is, Brown. But you'll find, I think he's passed away now, but he built, I think, a 40-foot pyramid and grew stuff on the first, second floor and all. And
wow.
I came up with a plan. Yeah, you want to watch that. He's got, I mean, just the amount of oxygen in there. I came up with a plan. You know, I had plenty of time to think about all this, and I wanted to build basically a jungle home, you know, basically a pyramid that would be a, you know, greenhouse pyramid systems, where you would have your house right in the middle and your tilapia would be underneath the bottom. I mean, I've done aeroponics and aquaponics, and then grew strictly in soil biochar and all these kind of things. You can't believe the amount of how the size of stuff, and I'm not talking about with geoengineering crap that they've got now with nothing with seeds in it. I mean, it's all Terminator seeds and stuff now. It's terrible. But if you go to Montaña Samara, you'll see where I was down there helping run that project. It's kind of doing the maintenance and keeping up the whole project for Mel down there, Mel Stevenson. And you can see how beautiful that place is. I was down there and I actually got kicked out of Costa Rica. I'd still be there. I actually had immigration come out and catch me and say, well, you got to leave. If you can imagine that after all I went through, right? And then they said, well, you don't. So after all that, they...
This land.
Huh?
They tell you you're not a citizen of this land after you went and bled and sweat.
Well, I mean, went through all that time in prison, and I had a lawsuit against me where I couldn't leave, basically. They told me and they actually put a man, Mr. Jacobs, he was in prison. I got him out. My wife and I went and fought to get him out of prison and had him a house for jail and everything. So the judicial department knew I was, reputable and everything was good. I had in prison, I had psychologists and everything calling me and asking me questions about health. I had doctors in there. I was consulting me actually at the end because, I started learning all these things, over the years. And, acupressure and magnetic therapy. And it all started getting downloads. I've always had downloads. I don't get any anymore. I mean, up here, it's just, I'm so locked into this frequency or something.
You were learning how to actually heal the body and cure illness, not throw drugs at it and just mask the symptoms. Yeah,
I grew back fingers and stuff. No, you can do so many things you can't even imagine. This whole thing is magnetism is what all this is. The whole
it's a big giant alchemy set that we're living in.
Absolutely.
And if you understand how it works, you can grow anything.
We've had I had cancer. We give people information. I mean, my lawyers, her brother had brain cancer. He wouldn't stop the chemotherapy. I said, well, he needs to quit that. And she said, well, he wants to finish the treatments. And I said, well, that would make him worse. But anyway, he was in a fetal position and everything. A week later, he was back to normal. Things like this. It's just, it's all a scam. You got to think about when they go and medicine's set up where they do an x-ray on you. Well, that's energy medicine. They're taking a picture of the different cells. Well, how can it pick up a tumor? Because the tumors are low frequency cells. In other words, they're not the same frequency. They're not spinning at the same speed as the other cells, right? I mean, so when they drop down below 63, you're getting down in the range, and when you get to 42, you got cancer. It's that simple. All you do is raise the frequency back up. Cancer spins one way, and it's polarity. It's just like organic and inorganic. You can't eat dirt, but you can eat what roots plants draw up from the dirt, and it becomes organic then.
So it's almost like in an oil change. In your vehicle, the oil gets all gummy and, doesn't cut down the friction so much, and it starts getting thick and globbed up, and it gets gunk and everything. So you need to change it out, raise that vibration, and clean everything out.
Yeah, well, it's like all magnets do. Really, if you put north side on your body, north is contraction and south is expansion. So if you put north on your body, what you're doing, your cells are spinning faster, back to get healthy. In other words, if you're eating dead food, is what you're doing. You're going in the store and you're buying dead food. It has no frequency. I mean, oregano has a frequency of 180. A rose has a frequency of like 320. Your body's 63 to 73. That's what you have to maintain that, and you have to have an alkaline and acid condition. I've never gotten colds or anything. I used to be the sickest one, and when I went in, I was just sick as could be all the time. Colds, I mean, I don't get cold. I can't get a cold because I know exactly what it is. My body stays at about 8 on alkaline. You know, and then I use magnets night and day. I mean, huge. I use a 1 inch by 4 inch by 6 inch brick. You know, I use that constantly. I'm laying on one right now, you know, all the time. I mean, I'm never without magnets on my body.
That's a big magnet.
No doubt.
Yeah, well, that's what it's not neodymium. This is ceramic. You couldn't use one that big neodymium. You feel pretty easy with that. Pulling probably 1,000 pounds. So this is a ceramic magnet, and that's about the best you can do to penetrate the body with organs. You know, your organ, you know, heals your organs and things. You know.
Yeah, I have some of those magnetic pads. A lady at the last FEIC down there in Dallas, we came pretty close real quick. Her name was Mari, just an amazing lady. And she was all about magnet therapy. And she had a bunch of these little pads, and she was showing, you know, like different places to put them for different illnesses and this and that. And yeah, she swore by it. She went to school and trained under some guy, I think in Utah or Idaho maybe. But she says it's been out forever, and you know, the powers that be do not want this getting out into the public. They don't want it well known at all. Because like you said,
how bad this is. Okay, let me tell you how bad it is on magnetism. They actually build companies, and they will put north and south combination in mattress pads and stuff. People have told me, well, it don't work, you know, and I said, well, of course it does. And they'll put north and south pole together, which one will, you know, cancel out the other, of course. And you got to put only north pole on your body. That's what you want. You don't want south because that's expansion. That's inflammation. I mean, you know, you can get a snake bite and you put north pole on it, and it will, you know, neutralize the venom. You know, in other words, you can do the same with urine therapy. I don't know if you know about anything about that, but that is that's the water of life. You know, I mean, I've taken and you know, I don't go to the doctor for anything. If I was to, I cut my arm one time, had a surface grinder jump back and just ripped my arm all the way to the bone around. And I just put super glue on it, held it together, and covered it with urine and put magnets on it and kept it on there. And it grew back, and, you know, within about 3 weeks, and it was no scar or anything, you know, no sewing or doing any of that crap, you know. I mean, there's not a thing in the world that make me go to a damn allopathic white coat, you know. I mean, that's not to do anything. They die from their own medicine. They die at 56 is the average lifespan of allopathic.
So
you know?
Do you think with the magnetical...
Got about 90 seconds. You can get the question in. Just we'll have to probably get the answer on the other side of the break.
Yeah, just the magnetical pyramid, all the things that we know are possible. Do you think we could really extend the human life with this wisdom that has been hidden from us?
Absolutely. I've already pretty much got that all figured out, but, you know, you don't want to get out there too much with it because it's goes against the rules that regulate, but maybe not here pretty quick. I mean, we'll see how this all works out because everything's happening for a reason, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, it's really strange. It's I don't know. I watched something last night. I've been, you know, I'm on top of all this. Been listening to it for years. I mean, you mentioned something about I put in that comment to you about Catherine Albright, you know, and when you made that video the other day.
Oh, wait. There it is.
All
There's
right,
the
take
break
that
music.
thought, Donnie, and you hold that thought, listener. We're going to be back. Spin your bill. Come back. Stay human.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. By Christine, great for heart palpitations. By Ann, before I started using this product, every afternoon my ankles and my hands would be swollen. That doesn't happen anymore. So if that part of their advertising is true, I have to assume that the rest of it is also. Not to mention that when I had my yearly blood test, only a few weeks after beginning to use this product, my cholesterol had dropped over 30 points. I'm going to continue to take it. By Croc, I love this product. It really works. By Brad, works great, thank you. Tell us your story. Get your Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hey folks, guess what the #1 phrase that Life Change Tea receives by email? You ready? We love this tea. We love this tea. Time after time, week after week, we love this tea. Life Change Tea gives you more energy, a beautiful cleansing, and fulfills its slogan perfectly. The tea that makes you go. So if you want to be on your health game, log on to getthetea.com and order Life Change Super Strength Tea. Packages come in a 1-month supply, and when you brew this stuff, wait until you see the results. Aren't we all about the results? And with a lot of people's health struggling, we can use a little bit of help. Doctors will tell you disease starts in the gut. So log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Be our next email saying, I love this tea. I love this tea. Get the tea at getthetea.com. Helping America one tea bag at a time.
He was the deputy director of MI6, Britain's most senior diplomat. He was knighted by the Queen and in charge of thousands of highly trained spies. But he was also a member of the Paedophile Information Exchange. He had 45 diaries full of sex fantasies with children. His friend was the private secretary of Margaret Thatcher. He strangled a child and hit another with his car. He raped young boys and organized orgies with children for other politicians.
The Enigma Channel, intelligent television for planet Earth. EnigmaTV.com.
Real people, real radio.
Initiating the truth frequency.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Iron you need to get what you want.
Here's a message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron. The iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Medical studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men lack the daily iron your body requires in a form your body can easily use and put to work. every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement.
We are awake, we are aware, we are not alone. We are striving for more.
So if you're not getting the iron your body needs, if you feel weak, run down, and are easily upset, start taking iron today.
Welcome back. Fourth and final segment. Starting now. Right here on the Ironworks. Josh Walton's hanging out with our friend Donnie. Calling in. Apparently Donnie's 247 years old and has figured out the secret to longevity. So thank you so much for joining us, Donnie.
Not quite. 70 years old, though.
Well, you are an absolute wealth of information. We are enjoying having you here talking with us this morning.
Well, thanks. I just had to learn it the hard way, right? Seems like you have to go through that to get where you are. I had all them businesses, all the things I did. Seemed like I could never settle down with one thing. I'd just see somebody doing something else, and I'd just go do that, and never could find anybody who did anything very good. All the experts. And when I went into prison down there, I started fighting my case, and I thought lawyers were so smart, and I found out that was a joke too, after I started reading law books. And seems like everything's that way. And then I was health problems, I was basically dying, in prison. I had some serious problems. Needed a bypass, and I had I don't know, with all that nastiness and some of the bugs and stuff I was living in at first, I don't know, something crawled up in my ear, and I had a hold of my eardrum. It was just unreal. So went through all these things, and was listening to a magnetic program back then on the radio, and I thought, boy, this guy's he's a scam. He's conning people out of money for magnets. I can't. What the hell can that do? And people calling in that had tumors and stuff, and just unbelievable recoveries. And I figured, well, they can't be paying everybody to call in like this from all over the world and places. Something's wrong with this. So I found a couple of speaker magnets and got started. Turned my whole world around. That's where I got started at. Then I was listening to the Gershon Institute out, and some of the stuff they went through, coffee enemas. All this is toxins, and we've been toxified. We're living in a toxic soup, and we're living in a chemical toxins. Everybody's they're pulling everything from the inorganic side and feeding it to us. You can make a strawberry milkshake with 47 chemicals, and it tastes exactly like a strawberry milkshake. It doesn't have any strawberries. It doesn't have anything organic in it. It's all pulled from the dirt. They just pull that formula out of the ground and fed it to us. So that's what it is. A lot of money in that.
There is a lot of money in that. And it helps hide how worthless our...
Oh, I'm sorry, Josh.
Oh, go ahead.
A lot of people are asking in chat about the magnets, like how big are the magnets? Can regular magnets be used? Is it the regular ceramic magnets? Do they need to get neodymium? I mean, just that kind of information kind of gives. Because years ago, I used to go to a lot of conventions that had vendors that were into the whole magnet therapy, and the first kind of wave, I guess, of them, we came to find out we're not really doing a whole lot because of the alignment, something to do with the alignment of the magnets and how it didn't really, unless they were all aligned a certain way, it didn't really do what it was supposed to be doing for you. And then I started wearing like magnetite bracelets for pain, and those worked really well for me for years. And so just give people some kind of heads up on what they can do for themselves to help out with these magnets.
Well, I think probably the most important thing, there's nothing better than a magnetic brick. I think it's your best investment. And, I'm so sick of the whole world. It's just everything's about money and this materialism and all this crap. I mean, if you go to prison for a while and, a spoon's important to be able to eat with. I mean, none of this means anything to me anymore. I'm kind of like stepped out of this. I just help other people do their thing. So that's what kind of like got trapped here, helping somebody do something. I don't try to make money anymore. I don't care. I mean, I go out and live in the woods under a tree. I don't give a damn about them.
Man, you are like my uncle now, Donnie.
Right.
if I could be so, blessed. Where have you been my whole life? I've been looking for like a medicine man to teach me all this stuff. I even went on a walkabout out in the desert for 4 or 5 months. And here you are. It's amazing. Yeah, I'd love to come hang out sometime, man, if all this craziness allows it one day. But yeah, you have a wealth of knowledge, and I would just soap it up like a sponge. I know it. Thank you for joining us, man. I don't know, it just really dawned on me how amazing you are and all this wisdom. You need to write a book.
Yeah, I thought about it. I've had a lot of people want me to write a book, and everybody, I mean, I was, when they was kicking me out of the country in Costa Rica, well, let me get back on the magnet. I mean, you asked me that question. I should get on that first, not to get off topic
Yeah, I'm
here.
sorry about that.
No, that's fine. We'll keep you on track.
Okay, I mean, I know we're on the last segment. I don't want to run out before, so people won't get to know about this. But basically, I would recommend it. It's just the most important thing to remember is that any North Pole magnetism, just remember, don't put South Pole on you. There was a doctor that discovered magnetism. He was actually an allopathic doctor, and if he put South Pole, I mean, I could get into the story on this, but it'd take quite a while to explain it all. I actually made a terrible mistake and started using South Pole to start with, and it was really something. I'll have to tell you about that sometime. That would be quite a while to drag all that out on here now, but any North Pole magnetism is what you want on your body. You never want to put South Pole on, not over about 3 minutes. It's expansion, remember that. So you want contraction. You want your cells to spin faster. So any magnet you put on your body, if it's North, you can get a speaker magnet, it'll help. All this stuff where they say, well, you got to have this, it's got to be aligned just like this, but that's all a bunch of bullcrap. I mean, don't buy none of that. That's just for money. Make money, everybody. What you want is the stronger the magnet, the more effect you'll have. Now, neodymiums, when you get too big with them, you're getting very dangerous. I mean, you can get hurt pretty quick.
Right.
With one of them, I bought about $8,000 or $9,000 worth of magnets from Applied Magnets. It's called Applied Magnets, in Plano, Texas, who I bought them from. And I was helping a lot of people. And basically, you have to run after people and beg them to let you help them. And that's how it is nowadays, people are so brainwashed to go to the doctor for stuff. So, it really doesn't matter what information I put out at this point. Nobody's going to listen anyway or believe it. You know what I mean? Unless you're woke up like we are, right?
You can't really promote yourself either out there because you're not allowed to practice this type of medicine, correct?
Yeah.
Like
That's
you can't
exactly
open
right.
up a doctor's office and say, "Hey, I'm a magnetic doctor." They don't allow that. It's not okay in their world.
Well, think about where I got my training. I mean, that would be really something, wouldn't it? They said, well, this guy was in prison down there in Costa Rica, you know. Well, I'm guilty, of course. You know, it doesn't matter if you are or not. It doesn't make no difference. You're guilty because you was in, right?
Yep, that's
I
how
mean,
they look
so
at it.
it's, yeah, it's all upside down. Everything's upside down. Criminals are in charge, and, you know. But anyway, the most important magnet for anybody to buy, if they could only afford one, I'd say buy the big magnetic brick. It's I don't think it's over by the time you get it shipped to you and everything. You probably wouldn't have $20 in it. So it's not a big thing. I mean, I bought my first one from that guy that was promoting them and this kind of thing. And I bought that. My wife was dying, basically. I mean, I brought her back, you know, we did a massage on her. She had asthma and she was, you know, watching videos of us in this truck because I built this big fancy truck for us and we traveled to all 48 states. And then we sold the truck and moved out down there. And then before the end of the year, we got attacked and defended ourselves. And I ended up in prison, you know. So
Now,
it
when
don't
you
matter
say
if you're right or
brick,
not.
do you have a 1 inch by 4 inch by 6 inch? Now, what Gauss rating would that be? An N?
It's about 3,600 Gauss, I think it is, in that neighborhood, which is about all you want to go for when you're going with something that, if you go with if you had a neodymium that size, it'd be, you know, you're talking 15,000.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like a N52. Well, usually they'll give you like an N number, an N and then a number behind it. So would that be about a 20, 26 maybe?
I don't know.
And 20, somewhere around there. I'm sure they have it on there, the actual Gauss rating. You said right around 3,000, right?
Yeah, it's 3,000. I think 600. It's about a 45-pound pull magnet. The thing is, it's got enough mass and size to it that it will penetrate your whole body. You can put it on one side of your head, and you can feel a spoonful full to the other side of your head. You know what I mean? So I've taken them magnets and I've got a lot of them. I built a big pad out of them. I've got an experiment I wanted to do, but I haven't done it yet. Well, I won't get into that. It's pretty.
Well, I'll tell you what, Donnie, I'm online right now. Just as I'm listening to you talk about it, I'm trying to find something that matches what you're describing. And other than a $75 something or another I'm seeing somewhere, all the rest of what I'm seeing is so weirdly there's a variety. Like this one's got a 3-pound pull. This one's got a 250-pound pull. This one, I haven't seen one in that 40-pound pull range. It's a little hard for me to find them. So if you have a source or a place you know to tell people to contact, let us know or get it to us later and we'll drop it in the show description for sure. Or hell, when you come hang out with us.
Well, I got it. Okay, where I got it from was Applied Magnets or Magnets for You, I think is they're also called. Here in Plano, Texas. Is that where you're at?
No, not yet. I'm trying to find it right now for you. Hang on one moment. But please talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, some people are asking, so to tell which side of the magnet is which, you know how he's saying use the north side? The easiest way to do that, cheapest way, get a compass. And the south end point to the north end of the magnet. So your north end of the compass will always be facing away from your north part of your compass, and vice versa.
No, actually, now here's the way that works. See, the magnet, you know, if you take a compass, the little N, what you have underneath that N where it's marked N, that is actually a south pole. That's the south side of a magnet.
Yeah,
so that will
opposite. Yeah,
to the north. And that's that's the side that's north. That's the side you want on your body. In other words, don't make the mistake of doing it the other way, okay? Because, you know, opposites attract. I mean, same poles attract opposites.
Well, yeah,
attract.
but isn't the north, or the actual north pole is actually the south end of the magnet on the Earth?
Yeah, I would just do it like this. In other words, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay, but this is getting into some heavy stuff for us.
Yeah, I would definitely make a video for you, Liz. They're asking in chat. Yeah, I will I'll make a video explaining what we're talking about and put it in plain
Yeah,
English.
the best thing you can do is just make sure that you have a compass. And if at the north side, where the north goes to, that's the side where the end goes to. That side is what you want to put on your body. Okay? Just do that. And you'll be okay. Because the compass is actually, I mean, you think it's that way, but it's actually the north is what they got a south magnet underneath there because it's south going to the north, you see. They have to do that, otherwise it wouldn't work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Kind
I
of
have now
confusing, but that's what it is.
dropped a link in chat for the exact magnet you are speaking about. 45-pound pull, 6 by 4 by 1 inch block ferrite magnet from
That's it.
Magnets, Applied Magnets, Magnets for Less. We're not sponsored by them or anything, but hey, you know, if you guys want to get in touch with us,
I
ironrealmedia
bought
at
magnets from them.
gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, you think about what people buy neodymium magnets for, you know, they'll be buying them, I mean, they'll be selling them on their sites and stuff. People buy this kind of stuff from them
Oh yeah, there's
or
lots
from
of
China.
goodies on here.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of stuff on there. They got anything you can think of, anything you want's there. I mean, I've built all kind of, you know, floating magnetic stuff and, you know, fluids, and I've done all kind of magnetic experiments over the years too. You know, I mean, it's like stuff that's coming out now is nothing new. I think Davis and Albert Davis and Walter Rawls, I think his name was, they over here in Green Cove Springs, Florida. They did 65 years of nothing but magnetic study in a laboratory over there. That's all they did. You know, people come up with stuff, you know, some guy in Mexico now, well, you know, just come up with something new. And I mean, I invented this magnetic stuff. I mean, I see all this kind of crap. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, you know, they did a study in magnets in Japan. They 5,000 hospital beds years ago. And I don't know, man. It's just everybody comes up with something new and it's something old. You know what I mean? I didn't come up with magnetism. I just grabbed it and started using it and thought, wow, this works, you know, and figured it out. It's not all that complicated. Everything's made complicated, and it's not. I think the whole thing we're living on here, you know, if you look at this is organic and inorganic. So you got what you've got is organic, which is your top side of the soil, and then when you're going down in the dirt, you're going to inorganic. That's south side, right? So. And what they've done, they've pulled the people up here living on the top side have pulled the bottom side up on top of us, trying to contaminate us with it. I mean,
Everything is
thin
upside
line. You
down,
got to balance it. Yeah, it damn sure is. I tell you, we're in a hell of a
Upside down
mess
and
here.
backwards. If they tell you to zig, you better zag, for sure, for sure. I think that's part of the whole scientism thing, is to make it so gribbly grabbly complicated that the average man thinks they don't have a hope of doing alchemy. That's like, what? That's crazy. But yeah.
Who was it?
It's
William
we can only
Cooper.
do it ourselves.
Or no, not William Cooper.
Absolutely.
His name.
I listen to you guys. You talk about space lettuce, and I'm thinking, yeah, I listen to all that crap. You know, it's just unbelievable. And health is the same thing. It's not complicated. I'm giving everybody information right now that can. I mean, it's so simple. You know, all of it's simple. I mean, there's things you mix. If you mix urine therapy, which everybody, oh, that's disgusting. Well, it's not. That's the water of life. I mean, Mr. Jacobs fell and just skinned his arm all the way down to the bone, you know, when he fell on his arm. And he said, oh, no, you know, what am I going to do? I said, it ain't no big thing, man. Just wrapped him up with a bunch of cotton and gauze and stuff and wet it down with urine, covered him up with magnets. And now what? I said, just don't worry about it. And, you know, the pain goes right away because that's what it does. And, I mean, he said, well, I want to see it. You know, I said, keep it wet. And he did. And then I think it was about a week and a half later, took it off and looked at it. And the cotton was all stuck to his arm. And I said, oh, look at that. It's all stuck. It's terrible. I said, no, it ain't no big thing. Your body knows what to do. Just leave it alone. Wrapped it back up. And I think it was about 2 weeks later, a little over. Took it off, and the body had rejected the cotton and everything, and his arm was just about back to normal. About 3 weeks, it was pretty much on its way to normal. So it's not,
Right. So, but
it's
most
all,
people
it's all a
panic and
bunch
run
of
off.
crap. Huh?
No, I was going to say most people just, when they do something like that, they panic and run to the emergency room, and then they get into the pharmacy industry with all their petrochemical bullshit that does more harm than good. And then there are usually complications and reactions and side effects. And as you said, the body will let itself do what it needs to do. My son got a toothpick jammed like that far into his foot, at least 1.5 inches, and everybody's like, "Oh, you got to get it out. You got to get it out." I'm like, "Just leave it alone. It will come out when it needs to come out." And once he got past the initial shock of it hurting, it kept it from getting infected. Maybe 2 weeks later, in the bathtub, he was like, "Y'all come here," and it was floating right there in the tub next to him. So it doesn't take long at all if you let the body heal itself.
Exactly. You're right. I had went to the dentist, and they had these animals that couldn't be dentists in the streets. They put them in prison. It'd be your dentist, right? And he grabbed a tooth I needed to pull out, and boy, he just yanked it instead of working it slowly, and getting it loose. He just broke it right off in there. And then he took a hammer and chisel and dug on it for a long time, I mean, this was real fun. And he left pieces down in there. And I was thinking about it. I got back, and that was before I knew a whole lot, and I was looking in the mirror. I had this little mirror. I was looking in there. I said, "Oh no, he done left a piece in there. What we're gonna do about that?" And I was talking to another guy. He says, "Oh, don't worry about it. Your body will push it out." And I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, okay." So that's when you start thinking, "Well, wait a minute. I mean, your body knows what to do. You got your medicine on board. Everything's here for you."
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and it all
we're
comes
living in
from
a
the
toxic state.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it does. And, yep. And you just want to, if it's like you was talking about growing stuff. The biggest problem we have is, we used to throw ashes onto the gardens, and you had campfires. You had all your.
Yep.
There you go.
It's putting the salt right back into the earth. You need that matrix. Those plants need that.
Absolutely, that's your minerals.
Mm-hmm. That's where all the salt.
Think about down in Costa Rica. Think about Costa Rica, where all your, that jungle. The topsoil down there just
so rich. Yeah. Yeah, that's
no, it goes down from feet.
I bet.
We've got about 90 seconds or so left. I see we have another caller on the line, but we're probably not going to have time to get to him. So, caller, if you want, please call back on Tuesday morning. We'll be right back here, kicking off at 4 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And we will keep an eye on the call board, but please do call back. Donnie, I want to thank you for calling us this morning. It's always a pleasure.
Indeed, sir. Thank you.
That's amazing.
And both you, Donnie, and the caller who is now gone, I was going to at least shout out where you were from, but the caller who just called, and you, Donnie, this afternoon, here in about 11 hours, we really would love to have you guys call us up, hang out, just become part of the hang, because it's going to be really relaxed and laid back tonight. We really don't have a guest. We've had so many amazing guests over the last few weeks. We just have a gap, so we're going to take a chill time, and everybody just kind of relax. And Zach and Cammie have their hands full with the move and the craziness there. As they can be there, they will. So, yeah, Donnie and caller, get with us this afternoon. We'll open the flat line, 304-503-FLAT. Love you guys. Thank you, guys.
Love y'all.
Love you guys. Thanks again, Donnie.
Okay, take care, guys.
And
Talk
please,
to you later.
if you do get a chance tonight, do call in. We'd love to talk to you some more this evening.
All right, sounds good. I'll try to do that.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. We will see you right back here next week. Have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. Love you. Be good. Be well. Stay human. Bye-bye.